Are you a coach who's tired of drowning in complex marketing strategies? Welcome to Simple Client Attraction for Coaches, the bite sized podcast that transforms how women coaches attract their ideal clients without the complicated systems or endless marketing tasks. I'm your host, Sandra Fidelis, and each episode I bring you straight talking conversations with successful coaches and industry experts who share their most effective and simple client attraction strategies. Subscribe now and discover how to fill your practice with dream clients in less time than it takes to enjoy your morning coffee. Today we have the lovely Penny Soo, who is a brand and messaging strategist. She has over 10 years of experience in branding and marketing and has helped many clients develop compelling brand narratives and messaging. She is passionate about authentic and empowering conversations and encourages her clients to embrace their unique voice and values in their brand messaging. Welcome, Penny.
Sandra, thanks for having me. And I love talking about messaging.
Well, we were talking a little bit earlier about how things have changed in the marketplace, especially the online, coaching service provider marketplace. And over the last year, I've heard a lot of people complain about how much more difficult they feel it is to get a client, right? So, what really gets rich clients or the clients who are have that the income to invest at a high level? What gets them to pay attention to what you're putting out there in 2025?
Before we talk about what activates them in 2025, also talk about what actually repels them. One thing I have noticed, and I call them the dopamine messaging, where, dopamine and messaging that has been used quite a lot. Still works, but mostly for beginners. And if you're talking about high level clients who are ready to invest, they are, they love investing and they've been around and the business is pretty successful. They're not looking for a sugar hit because they know that, yes, it feels nice. They've done it before. They have a sugar hit. And then, how you have a sugar hit and you have crashes.
The sugar
it's the
crash,
same,
yeah.
Sugar
Right.
Crash, right? So it's the same.
So when you talk about sugar hit, do you mean like the people who are out there like posting things that are provocative? Is that what you mean?
Those look at this, how easy it's learn how to do this in 30 days or learn how to create,
Make 500 million in
500 million, but you're selling a $20
24
course.
hours. The audience now is a lot more savvy than they were back in like 2020, 2021. Right?
Yeah, 100%. There are still some who aren't, maybe because they are just, they have just joined, coming to the industry, they're still quite new. That kind of messaging is actually selling to, I would say, people who are more desperate people, who are probably newer, selling to lack and insecurity. And in some ways, we have been trained. I have myself been told, this works. Yes, it still works, but when you're selling to lack and insecurity, because this is what it is, right? People want fast, want it fast. They don't want a whole lot of work, which means that they don't have a lot of foundation built yet. Not to say that's 100% true for everybody, but usually that's what that kind of messaging is targeting, right? People who are want fast results, but that haven't built the foundation. High level clients know that you need that foundation first. This kind of messaging is actually selling to lack and insecurity. And what ends up is that you end up attracting a lot of scarcity clients. It might be fine if you're selling a course that, the course is $200 and you put it there. There's no support needed. Someone just buy a course. To be honest, if you are servicing clients, like 20K containers clients who are very high touch, you want something more sustainable. You want a calm container where you love what you do. You love the clients. You don't want a client to show up and second call of your 6 months container and they're asking you why I'm not making 100K yet.
Right. Exactly.
So they are not looking for a sugar hit. They want depth. They see the nuances of how, to do this sustainably, in the long term and being specific, right? So you're not talking about, I'm going to help you make 100K in 30 days. but maybe something specific, removing one pain point that they have, something that's really frustrating to them. Could that be, I'll give you an example, could that be, maybe how to hire better, or how to be more efficient, or have a really, these are very specific things. But if someone who is running like $1 million or $5 million business, right, that very small thing could make a huge difference in, like, could be client onboarding or just the type of clients that you attract.
So what you're saying is like there's the dopamine marketing, which is like hey, I'll help you make 100K in 30 days, or however, whatever the K is. But what really attracts this higher level client is really paying attention to that thing that they really want gone, or they want changed, or they want different in their business, and then simply speaking about it, simply showing up, talking about how you can help them with that, versus trying to offer them the world in a short time, which is sort of like the marketing that worked maybe a decade ago.
It just reminds me, I was saying this to a client yesterday, it's like there's a difference between someone who goes into, I don't know, like Forever 21. I don't even know if they still exist, Forever 21 or H&M, versus someone who goes into Hermes. Right? That person, that client who goes to Hermes, they go into Hermes, maybe they want one specific bag or one specific piece of scarf, which they are very known for. They just want that bag, and that bag is, we don't know how expensive they are. They're like, 30,000 or whatever, but they only want that because it's so exclusive, and they don't want to buy everything in the shop. They're not going in. They're like, I rather spend $30,000 on a bag that I really, really, really want. It goes back to the high value, those educational content where you're throwing everything at them, but like, that's not what they look for. They just want one thing. They just want one solution. So that's why that's the difference between talking to these kind of clients and really helping them solve one very painful problem that is frustrating for them, that they know that even though it may not break their business, they just want it gone.
What you're saying is that there's elegance in the simplicity, right, of what,
I love how the way you worded it.
Yeah, there's elegance in the simplicity of what they want and how you approach it and communicate it to them.
Yes. It's so much simpler if we just pull back and just focus on one thing and just focus on that, rather than trying to say 100 different things and just to confuse them and repel your clients.
Yeah, and it also helps you to stand out too, because you're not out there doing the sugar high marketing and really honing in on something that's really key and important to them, and something that they would spend probably several or tens of thousands on figuring out, if you could help them resolve that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's so important for people to realize that they don't have to make it super complicated. They don't have to make their offers super complicated, throw everything in there and make it super hard to deliver. And this is one thing I work with clients when they come to me, work with me. I look into the offers, because great messaging starts from the offer, how it's designed. If you want to talk about it, you make sure that you understand how it works.
Right.
So and that's what exactly high value clients want. They want to focus on a few things. They don't want to focus on 400 things. They don't want to come in a container and talk about 400 things, 499 things. They want one thing.
And they don't want to have to do 499 things. They don't want to have to. They don't have time to do it in 3 months or 6 months, right? So you're throwing a kitchen sink in there, thinking that that's what's going to sell a 10K package or 10K program, but the simplicity is it.
Exactly. They want simple, they want it implementable, they want it quick, they want it fast. I have clients who we have 1 hour call, but they will come in and after half an hour, 35 minutes, they're like, okay, cool, I got that sorted. Okay, cool. They want speed, they want precision. If they can they pay for 1 hour, or they pay for, I don't know, 3 months, and you can have the problem solved in 1 month instead of 3 months. they love that you don't have to like fill it up with, they just move on. They go on, you can work on refining things.
Don't be afraid of the simple, right? Don't be afraid of how you can simply help them, right? I love that message. I know that you have something really spicy to share with us, a freebie that you're going to be sharing with everyone. Can you tell us about that?
So I have a masterclass. This is one of my favorite masterclasses. It's called Flavors, Hot and Spicy Messaging That Sells. Hot and spicy messaging that feels, I think of like KFC, I don't know why. Hot and spicy messaging that feels 10K days. And I'm going to teach you about how your content shouldn't be lukewarm, how your messaging shouldn't be lukewarm when your offers are really hot and spicy. And inside this masterclass, you will uncover the subtle messaging tweaks, mistakes, right? That are actually repelling high value clients, and what they are. And then the 4 sales driving emotions that actually, really catches the attention and empowers your premium clients, so they will come and hit you in the DMs and ask to work with you. And also how to attract, I'm ready kind of clients right now, instead of 6 months later. So the clients who are ready to work with you and going to shorten your sales cycle.
Excellent. I love it. Can you share one quick little nugget that you want everyone to take away?
I've mentioned this before, but I just want to reinforce that, is that clients, when you play bigger in your messaging, play bigger in the sense that play bigger means also, not trying to do everything all at once, not to try to do everything that everyone is doing. So by, adding more spice in your messaging. And when you do that, high value clients, premium clients are willing to pay 5 times more to solve a very specific high value problem, because you have really brought it to their attention. You really show them, how you can solve this problem, than just a general result. And it goes back to saying, like, when you're focused on solving an immediate frustration, people are willing to pay for that. And especially when you have been consistent and showing up that you're the only one who can solve that problem, they will pay for it.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, Penny.
Thanks, Sandra. It's great being here.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Simple Client Attraction for Coaches. I hope today's bite-sized strategies have given you practical ideas you can implement right away in your coaching business. If you'd like to watch the video of our interview, then head on over to simpleclientattractionforcoaches.com. It's the name of the podcast.com. Did you find value in today's episode? If so, please share it with other coaches in your network who could benefit from these straightforward, bite-sized strategies. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. Until next time, remember, client attraction doesn't have to be complicated. Small, consistent actions can lead to remarkable results. I'll see you in our next episode with more simple strategies to help your coaching business thrive.